They, and you may be one of they, since you did not think it worthwhile to retain the knowledge of God, he gave you over to a depraved mind. Look up depravity in the dictionary. Get back with me. To do what ought not to be done. The depraved, they don't think it worthwhile to retain the knowledge of God, and they do what ought not to be done. You say, well, what would those things be, Phil? Things that I shouldn't do that I'm now doing. What are those things? Are you listening? They become filled with every kind of wickedness. That's what you'll do if you think it's not worthwhile to retain the knowledge of God. You'll be, everybody, a righteous man is known to be a righteous man. I'm known what kind of person I am because that's what kind of person I am. That's how you spot somebody who is good or who is bad, who is wicked, and who is evil. Everybody will know. You say, boy, I tell you what, that bunch right there, whew. So, no knowledge of God, wickedness, evil, we've been discussing that, greed. I wonder if there's how much greed is going on out there. And depravity. They're full of envy, the ones who didn't think it worthwhile to retain the knowledge of God. They're full of murder. They'll slaughter their own children, but they won't let you show a dead deer on the internet because you're being bad. You're like, I ate that thing. I killed a deer and I ate him. They're like, that's a no-no, that's bad. I said, do you kill your children? They said, sure. I said, well, what do you call that? They said, that's good. Killing your children is good. Killing a deer, that's bad. You're like, do you really believe that? You say, why would a person say that? He's depraved. Depraved people say, kill your children, great. Kill deer, bad. Instead of the other way around. You wouldn't think we would get to that point, but humans do. They're full of envy, murder, strife. Have you seen any strife lately? Deceit. Seen any of that lately? And malice. Look at your dictionary and look up all these words. They're gossips. You ever heard of a gossip? You say, what is a gossip? That's a person who does not think it worthwhile to retain the knowledge of God. Gossip about people, always, yeah. They tell me, I don't know this, but they tell me, you can get on the internet on a thing called Facebook, and they say you'll hear a lot of people who are doing a lot of gossiping about this, that, and the other. They're full of gossip because they don't think it worthwhile to retain the knowledge of God. That's why you hear a lot of gossip on Facebook. They tell me. I've never looked at Facebook. Slanderers. Is there any slandering going on the Facebook? Computers? In your neighborhood? In your house? Out in your church? Slanderers. God haters. Run into any of them lately? So how do you end up being a God hater? That's if you think it's not worthwhile to retain the knowledge He's given you. The knowledge of God. You do away with that. These pages is telling you about a being that's good, perfect. But you say, I don't believe in that religious crap. So they are insolent. That would be a person who doesn't believe in that religious crap. That's insolent. Arrogant. No God. Arrogant. Boastful. Get that Bible out of my face. And on and on and on and on it goes. Deeper and deeper and deeper. And they invent ways of doing evil. Oh my goodness. You say they invent ways of doing evil. Yeah. No, that's so evil there. I wouldn't have thought of that one. Yeah, that's a pretty bad deal. Get up in a high rise, start hauling weapons up there and start shooting people over there in Las Vegas. You're like, that guy invented ways of doing evil. Murder, a mass murder in the top of a building, shooting down on people going to a concert. You're like, they invent ways of doing evil. Evil, you lose eternity. Just a temporary blimp and you're gone about that quick. The pandemics come by and it scares the daylights out of you. Oh no, coronavirus, it's a pandemic, what are we gonna do? They're running, they're not gonna vaccinate me. Well, I'm gonna let them vaccinate me, but I don't, but you stay within 6 foot of each other. I'm just noticing now the football stadiums are full again and they're packed into these stadiums, 80,000, 100,000 strong, like sardines. And I still hear people hollering about you gotta have a mask on if you're going to walk in the door of some business. And I'm like, wait a minute. The football stadiums are full of people stacked up like sardines, and y'all are saying, but I put my mask on once I walk out of the stadium because I don't want to catch the microbes coming from one person screaming about 2 feet from my face. So we're going to learn to live with this thing or not? Be right with God and you won't worry about all that stuff. You got eternity when you pass away. Something to think about at least.